Welcome to Boomer Bongo Boulevard. I'm Mike, just Mike. Along with me is Ron, just Ron. He usually does a hand signal or something at this point. Don't forget to mash that subscribe button. We're all the way up to 19 subscribers. Who's going to be
We got
20?
to get to 20, man.
Got to get to
Come on,
20. Otherwise,
somebody come through.
there's got to be somebody out there that's watching this occasionally. But we've been doing this little thing, and we're planning on doing this little thing over the next week or two. We started last week where each of us just picks two albums that, all right, you know what? Let's expand it and say two records.
Yeah,
that mean something to us. And
exactly.
we limited it last week and said that we would only do albums that were not greatest hits albums, but I think we might expand it over the next few weeks and
Yeah, if we
include
just do
good.
anything now, it doesn't matter.
We're in charge. We're the bosses.
Right.
And so, Ron, let's start off. What's your record that you're going to get behind and push this week and have a story
Well, before I talk about my record, I got to do one thing in honor of the T-shirt. And anybody that was a fan of this show is going to understand this immediately. Booga!
Well, it frightened people anyway, even if they weren't a fan of the show.
Because that's what Johnny Fever got fired for saying was booger. That's the first thing he did.
You know, you might get fired for saying that.
Yeah, I'd have to fire myself, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's terrible when you have to fire yourself.
But I got my first album here, and I was kind of inspired by your Snob album thing. And so I've been kind of looking for some that aren't as well known and not as many people have that I happen to like. And this is one that I originally heard this one after our brother Randy bought it after we saw this guy on Saturday Night Live. Very interesting guy, Mr. Leon Redbone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and of course, there he is. And he usually performs sitting down with his head down in a wicker chair,
right.
Stage. And he, it was great. I've had old standards and stuff, Melancholy Baby, Mississippi River Blues, Diddy What Diddy, Nobody's Sweetheart, Shine on Harvest Moon, Up in the Sky. But my favorite was the Chic of Vera B.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm the Chic of Vera B. Your love belongs to me.
And like you've said many times, you can find these albums still floating around with the internet.
I bought this just about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Leon Redbone.
I found it. I went, gotta have that, man.
Anybody that might be intrigued by Leon Redbone who hasn't heard of him, pretty easy to find. Go to YouTube, go to some of these other services and find Leon Redbone songs and listen to.
He passed away not long ago. I think this past year.
Well, he just grows on you.
Yeah.
Particularly if you put him on in the background and do some work, and you might find you're in the market for buying a Leon Redbone album. What was the name of that album?
It's Double Time.
Double Time.
Yeah.
It's not a double album, is it?
No, it was just called Double Time. It's that's just what they called it. But there was another connection to Leon Redbone, somebody else who passed away here recently, Bob Uecker, who was Mr. Belvedere, and who else wrote and sang the theme song but Mr. Leon Redbone. Streets on to China, never mattered before.
You do a pretty good Leon Redbone. And, it just flashed.
No one cares. Maybe I should do a tribute to performances or something.
Tribute to Leon Redbone.
Yeah, grow my beard back.
We get some interview somebody here, get some guest people, get guest stars, get Mickey Dolenz to come in and talk about. I wonder if Mickey Dolenz is a Leon Redbone fan. I bet he is.
Could be.
You know what? Monkey Song would be right up Leon Redbone's alley.
Yeah, kind of would, wouldn't it?
What? You know which one it would be?
Let's see.
D.W. Washburn. Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think it would have been a perfect Leon Redbone.
W. Washburn.
Yeah, can't you hear it?
Yeah, sitting there with his the way he would always do with his legs crossed, he come down, bent over,
I thought you were in your underwear there for a second.
Usually had like either a fedora, a straw fedora, or a safari hat on.
Right. He was unique in many ways. Okay, you ready for mine?
Absolutely.
1973, huge hit. This is when people began to take Wings seriously, even though Linda was in it. Paul McCartney, Band on the
Yes.
Run.
I
Great
love that
album.
album. I have the CD.
Well, it's got a great cover, too. They've got, what is it, Lee Marvin, I think? Yeah, right here.
Is it
Guest
Lee
starring on the
Marvin or
cover.
James or is that James Coburn?
That's James Coburn. I'm
James
sorry. Yeah,
Coburn.
that's
Yeah.
James
There's
Coburn.
somebody else on there
Yes.
too, isn't it? Or I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I don't know the rest. I don't care about
I
the
think
rest of
James
them.
Coburn was just like hanging around when they were doing that shoot, and they were like, "Ah, come on, James."
The monster movie guy. There was some dude that was in all these monster movies.
Yeah.
Lee something or can't think of his name.
Yeah, I can't see the picture clear enough, but yeah.
But they
Fantastic album.
Hey, they were escaping. They were on the run. The police were after them. They had the spotlight on them, and they're all in that pose where you're frozen when the spotlight shines on you as you escape or as you go down the alley. The thing I liked about this, Ron, when I was teaching, of course, you had in the last several years that I taught, you had access to the internet and all. And one of my go-tos for calming a class down when they came in, if I had a particularly active class or they came in, they were a little noisy, I always had it ready. Was the first lick of Band on the Run, that it would quiet a class down. Their heads would just snap around. It's such a great intro.
It is.
And the song itself, just now the song doesn't captivate because it has all those trademark Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Basically, you have 5 different songs in one song, and you keep changing gears and all that. But that opening, that stuck inside these 4 walls, stuck inside forever, and the guitar going along with it, and everybody stops and listens because it just sounds so great. But another song, a couple other songs on here that I really like, Jet, and I was always a big fan of Let Me Roll It.
I like the more obscure songs, actually.
Oh, better. Yeah. Just if you've never heard Let Me Roll It, it's a great song to listen to.
No Words is a great song.
Oh, and Hell on Wheels.
Yeah.
And Picasso's Last Words.
Yeah.
Drink to me, drink to my health. I can't drink anymore. And
1985 might be the best song on the whole album, in my opinion.
It's just a great album to put on, and this is what you miss now with albums and really even CDs going by the wayside. Is just putting an album on or putting a CD on and just letting it play, and just letting the whole one that's artfully put together, which Paul McCartney knew how to do. Just the whole thing rolls over you, and then you listen to it again, and it just gets you in a mood. It creates a mood. And you eventually, if you know enough albums like this, know enough records like this, you know the album to put on to get you in the mood that you need to be in at a particular time. And I don't want to get too off in the weeds because I don't know that much
getting
about
off in the weeds on stuff I really like.
Well, yeah, you know what you like and you know what does it too. Yeah. Anyway, Band on the Run's always done that for me. You put it on,
great and ending to the album as well. With the crescendo with the dun 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 dun, and then goes back into Band on the Run.
Yeah,
fades away. Great. I love it. It's like the whole brings you all the way back around.
Oh, it's outstanding, and just Wings at its best. The Band on the Run album. What's your turn? Second record coming up. A lot of pressure.
Now, this was a big hit album. Came out in 1984. One of my favorites. One of my favorite concerts I ever attended, and it was actually when this album first came out because it was the first time I heard almost every song on this album was live.
Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis, Sports.
I don't know if he was still doing this, but Huey Lewis's line at the end of a performance when they were on TV was, "I'm Huey Lewis, and you just heard the news." Did he do that in concert?
Here's a story about this one. Now, see back here. Can you see this T-shirt here? I don't know if you can or not. It says the 2 a.m. Club.
Says what?
The 2 a.m. Club. That's the name of this bar.
Oh.
Okay, this is a bar they played in when they first started out. It's
Oh,
in
wow.
not in San
I
Francisco
did not know.
proper, but when I was out in San Francisco visiting my son Eddie, we decided to go and look for it, see if it was still around, and it was in fact still around. And we went and we kind of did a little crude recreation of the cover photo. We tried to position ourselves kind of sort of. I had my son Eddie like in this position, and I was back here leaned up against the bar.
Right.
And Eddie took the picture, and and the bar is basically unchanged.
Was it empty? Was it pretty empty?
Oh yeah,
When
it
you were
was
in?
like the only two people in there. It was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But it
Oh, okay.
just opened,
Always a
which
good
was
time to find
perfect.
an empty bar.
So we sat up at the
1 o'clock in the
bar
afternoon.
and had like 2 or 3 beers, and it was just cool to, we took pictures outside with the sign and all that.
Right.
And also, that was coincidentally the name of pretty much all my intramural teams, sports teams at Mississippi State was the 2 a.m. club.
Always a good name.
We wore black and silver and black. We wore black jersey with silver numbers and had 2 a.m. club across the front.
That's a good name for any group. 2 a.m. club. Just randomly name them that. You
Yeah.
can name an elementary school baseball team the 2 a.m. club. Yeah, we all stayed up till 2 a.m. one night.
Yeah.
It was great. Doesn't have to be anything underhanded about it.
But
All right,
on
I'm
top of
coming up.
that, it's a great album because it's almost like one of those greatest hit albums. It's got like the heart of rock and roll,
Right.
heart and soul, bad is bad. I want a new drug. Walking on a thin line. I mean, it's even got a cover of Honky Tonk Blues, which is awesome.
The I want a new drug is one of the most original lyrics I've ever heard. First time I heard it, I'm like, that's different.
Huey sued Ray Parker over that song because it's he the story behind it is he was they approached him to do the theme to Ghostbusters,
Huey
and
Lewis.
and he wrote something, and then he decided not to sign anything with her or anything, and that song ended up being a whole new drug, and they had like a little like promo or whatever to listen to, and he's like, watching MTV and sees that video and like, excuse me,
What are you guys doing?
That's my music.
Hey, got an album for you. You familiar with this one? Jackson Browne, For Every Man. It's one of his early albums,
No, I'm
1973.
not really familiar with that one.
Hey,
I'm
watch
sure I
this.
know some songs off of it.
Watch carefully. Watch carefully. Okay, album. Now I'm taking the album out.
I like stuff like that.
Underneath, Jackson's not there anymore. Jackson's there. Jackson's not there.
Yes.
Hey, I had to buy it just for that. I've had this album since it came out. This album is
that's cool.
Decades old, and one of the few albums I actually took care of. The rest of them are, so many of them I have are taped together, and but I played them. I wasn't.
See, I've had to rebuy some of mine that I've just tried to play them, and I'm just like, man, I got to get another copy of that.
Listen, Jackson Browne wrote "Take It Easy," the song that was made into a huge hit by the Eagles. They all knew each other before.
That sounds like a Jackson Browne song.
Linda Ronstadt, all those people, and I'm trying to see who's on this. Nope. Eagles show up on some of Jackson. David Crosby shows up here. Crosby
Is
National.
Doctor My Eyes on that album?
No, this is.
That's my favorite Jackson Browne song.
It might be his second. This might be his second or even his third album. But Take It Easy's on there. I'm not going to go through all of them, but and these are some songs that only Jackson Browne files know. Redneck Friend, which is one of the rockinest songs.
I actually know that one. Yeah.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just some great guitar licks. Sounds and all of these songs sound like they could be Eagles songs. And Ready or Not, someone's going to have to explain it to me. I'm not sure what it means. My baby's feeling funny in the morning. She's having trouble getting into her jeans. Her waistline seems to be expanding, although she never feels like eating a thing. I guess we'll get some understanding when we see what the future brings. And then he drums on into how he met his baby. And, yeah, he he wouldn't perform that song for a while because it was about his girlfriend, longtime girlfriend, who committed suicide.
Oh wow!
But he didn't write. He didn't write that. She was still alive, and his girlfriend when he wrote that. But it just was hard for him to sing. But it's a great song. It's a lighthearted song, which is you don't get a lot of lighthearted songs from Jackson Browne, and you don't get a lot of real good lighthearted songs. That's one of the great ones. So if once again anybody who's paying attention to us, if you want to hear a really good, interesting, two really good, interesting Jackson Browne songs, "Ready or Not," great one from this album, "For Every Man," and "Redneck Friend," which is a fun song and then a rocking song. Just a lot of variety, and one of my all-time favorite albums. I still play it regularly, and couldn't recommend it more. But a kind of a snob album, even though Jackson Browne's well known. It's got some hit songs on it, but it's kind of a snob Jackson Browne album. So Jackson Browne maybe is kind of a snob artist anyway. You just I prefer Jackson Browne rather than the Eagles. Last one for you, Ron.
What's that?
What do you got? It's time for your second one.
No, I've already done two.
You've already done two. Oh gosh, I've gotten to the age I cannot count to three.
I've done two for me, two for you. Like Huey Lewis in the News and Leon Redbone.
And we don't have to have a song of the week because we've already named several songs.
I even did Johnny Fever takeoff. I mean,
that's right, you did. We had a lot of stuff going on here.
Well, I guess we're going to wrap this one up. I mean, what more do you want from me?
Yeah, Leon Redbone, Jackson Browne, couldn't get any better. Hey, Ron, we're wrapping it up. We're going to get it done early, and we're going to get away from these 40-minute marathon shows and get into 10-minute marathon shows.
I agree.
Okay. See you later.
All right.